Originally, Brad promised us we'd have either Cuba Gooding or Wesley Snipes to play
Oh,
boxer.
wow. Can you imagine Snipes and Van Damme in the same movie?
And word about this got out, and people were really excited about it. Like Van Damme and Snipes, that sounds awesome.
Hey guys, today's video we're going to talk about the time Jean-Claude Van Damme and Wesley Snipes almost worked together. This would have been on the film The Hardcore, written and directed by Sheldon Lettich, who's my guest in today's video. Make sure to follow him on Facebook, by the way. He'll post some stuff on there, kind of keep updated with things he's involved with. Oh, in this discussion, we're also going to talk about the other film he made with Van Damme called The Order, and we're going to talk about some of Van Damme's straight-to-video movies, some of like his more depressing ones that he's made with those characters and the stories involved. Also, make sure to stay until the end because Sheldon Lettich is going to tell us what his favorite movie that he's made is, so you don't want to miss that. Anyway, please help support the channel by hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing the video, and if you want a discount on an amazing cologne or perfume, Black Belt Fragrances, get you a discount. All information linked in the description below. And with that said, let's get on to this discussion with Sheldon Lettich.
Well, Jean-Claude has called me out of the blue a few times in the past. After Legionnaire and a number of other things, there was a period where he was doing some movies with Brad Kervoy. And I'm driving in my car one day, phone rings, it's Jean-Claude. Hey, this guy Brad Kervoy wants to do some movies with me. You got anything that we could do for him? And I had just written the treatment. I've got a whole screenplay of The Hardcore.
Okay.
George Saunders and I wrote The Hardcore. And so I pitched it to him, just the basics about him being a bodyguard and, you know, this boxer and the boxer's sister. And he said, hey, I love it. Why don't you meet Brad Kervoy? I'll have Brad Kervoy give you a call. So I get together with Brad. I've got the script. Fortunately, I had it wasn't just talk, it was a script. Brad liked it and said, okay, let's do it. It just came out of the blue, you know.
That's cool. Yeah, because that was the one you wrote and directed, unlike the Order that you only directed. So do you have any cool behind the scenes stuff that happened on here? Something that maybe nobody really knows about? Something interesting?
Well, you know that I'm working on a book. I already said that, right?
Yeah. We don't want you to give everything away from the book, but
it's all in the book.
Do we have to wait for the book for that?
No, but I think I have talked about some of this stuff before, to where originally Brad promised us we'd have either Cuba Gooding or Wesley Snipes to play boxer.
Can you imagine Snipes and Van Damme in the same movie?
And word about this got out, and people were really excited about it. Like Van Damme and Snipes, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So we were going to have Van Damme, Snipes, and Vivica Fox. And then I actually talked to DMX about playing the villain. Wow. So we got an awesome cast here. Anyways, the producers did not want to hire another expensive actor. Like they said, look, if we've got Van Damme, and Van Damme was getting $3 million at the time.
Okay.
So if we get Wesley Snipes, we're going to have to pay him $3 million also, because it's going to have to be a favored nations deal. You know, you can't pay Van Damme more than Wesley Snipes. All right, so now we're $6 million in the hole, and they didn't want to risk that kind of money, so we ended up getting somebody from England, because they also had some kind of a deal in place where people from the UK had to be involved. We had to have people with United Kingdom passports work on the movie.
Interesting.
We were only allowed one American in the movie because of this financial structure. So Vivica Fox was our one American. And then they were going to make an allowance for DMX. But so I met with DMX. Everything's great. He wants to play the role. I fly back to Vancouver. And then they heard from his attorneys, Well, we forgot to mention one little detail about DMX. He's scheduled to start a prison sentence around the same time you guys start shooting.
Oh, darn.
So can you delay your shoot
I'm X, man. I live in this motherfucker, man. Don't you watch the news?
for a while? Or can you just shoot his stuff first and then come back? And we were saying, well, we don't like this, maybe. And then the bond company and the insurance company said, no way, you're not using DMX. Okay, so because that would have certainly given the movie a lot more cachet if we had DMX playing.
Yeah, he was still really big.
He was, yeah.
Do you know what he was getting paid per movie? Like, what would he have made as the villain? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't think he would have gotten the same as Van Damme, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't think. They might as well just get Snipes at that point then. Do you know what the budget entirely, like if Van Damme got 3 for this, you know what the whole budget was?
I do, but we didn't. It's a long story, and I don't want to go into the details, but basically, we only got a small. I don't even want to go into this because it becomes embarrassing for some of the people involved.
Okay.
But basically, we didn't have nearly the money that we were supposed to get. Sony gave the producers X amount of dollars, but they only gave us Y and Z amount to make the movie. So we didn't have nearly the production value that the movie should have had, or nearly it needed much bigger action at the end, but we just didn't have the money to get the action.
Hey, at least it's still giving you good residuals, though, right?
It's giving me really good residuals. People like the movie. I like the movie. I think it's terrific. You've seen it, of course, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, post theatrical released films, my favorite Van Damme in the last 20 years, like if I say JCVD and then The Bouncer, but if I were to expand that, then yeah, the ones that you did, you know, because The Order still has that fun Van Damme. It's still like a fun movie, right? And then the hardcore, like again, me and my brother, I'm like, hey, Sheldon Lettich, you know, like he's got a new Van Damme movie, because the thing is, he was coming out with like, we'll just say not the best film straight to video, so I was kind of disappointed in like Derailed and like a couple of these other ones. But it's like this one got me excited. And same with The Order. It's like, hey, at least he's got one with Sheldon Lettich again.
Yeah, we had a good budget for The Order too. Avi Lerner gave us plenty of money to do that one. Never as much as we'd like, but sure. we had money. We had a lot of production value. We actually shot in Israel. We've got chase scenes through Tel Aviv, chase scenes in Jerusalem. We got a lot of production value in The Order, and that is a fun movie. It's not a perfect movie, but it's people are starting to like it a lot more as the years go by. I mean, they came out with a special edition Blu-ray in Germany. There's a lot of people that are really digging that movie. So it seems to be gaining fans.
And you got Brian Thompson back, of course. And then Van Damme is kind of like his playful self, kind of like a Chad type, Right. It's just, it's like you said, it's just, it's a fun movie. And a lot of his straight to video films, he kind of plays like a
no fun,
depressed character, and it's not as fun, he's very dark, and
he's a gloomy, depressed character.
Gloomy, exactly. But this one was like, I want to be happy and watch fun Van Damme.
He's not suicidal in The Order.
yeah. It was just kind of, a lot of those Van Damme films were depressing, based on his character in a lot of those,
with a title like Until Death. Like, whoa, that sounds like a fun Van Damme movie. Until Death. Okay.
Yeah. When all you have left are the failures of the past.
Yeah, and that was it had some good stuff in it, but overall not a lot of fun. And and like I don't know if you saw this one, Pound of Flesh.
Yeah, I seen that one. He wakes up in the bathtub with like one of his organs missing, right?
One of his, like a kidney or something. And that movie certainly did not have any kind of budget at all. It had one of the worst excuses for a car chase scene I've ever witnessed in a movie, just because they had no money. You can't blame it on the director. Somebody put this thing together.
Yeah, they got to work with what they got, man.
Yeah, I know how that goes. I made a movie with Dolph Lundgren in Israel, and they never came through with the money they were supposed to have. So that was kind of disappointing too. Weren't able to do the big action.
That one I actually haven't seen. I think that came out in 2000 or something.
Right, yeah.
Would you recommend that one or not necessarily?
No.
Okay, at least you're honest, man.
Yeah.
What is your favorite movie that you made? Like, this is the one that you would tell people, like, you know, and take yourself out of it, you know, like if you weren't you'd be like, this is the Sheldon Lettich movie you should see.
That's probably Double Impact.
Did you hear what he just told us?
Oh, yeah, I can't. That's so great, man.
It just depends on who I'm talking to, because some people would, like women in particular, like Lionheart better.
I hear all kinds of bullshit every day, pal.
That's why I recommended that one to my mom.
right, yeah. That's that one you'd recommend to your mom. Double Impact, maybe not, because their mother gets brutally murdered in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
that's a total guy movie, man.
It's a total guy movie, absolutely. Total
revenge element, you know.
So I've got some like favorite scenes, but as far as favorite movies, I'd say, yeah, I would tell people to see Double Impact.
Okay. Was there any talk of you, because I made this little picture that I call the Mount Rushmore of action stars. It's got Arnold, Stallone, Van Damme, and Seagal's heads on there on Mount Rushmore. So you worked with 2 of the 4. Were there ever any talks of you working with either Seagal or Schwarzenegger on anything?
For Seagal.
Oh, yeah?
In fact, Seagal is the first one who read the hardcore. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In fact, I had a producer friend who knew Seagal, and Seagal had met me before too. And I actually went over to his house and we had a meeting about it.
Oh, wow.
But I think he was, by that time, I was pretty much perceived as Van Damme's director.
I was going to say, I'd almost think he wouldn't want to work with you based on your close association and friendship with Van Damme.
I have a feeling that had a lot to do with it, but we did have a meeting about it. It would have been a perfect role for him in the hardcore. Yeah, so that ended up not happening. But I had other encounters with Seagal also. Seagal and I came up with, he and Jean-Claude had the same attorney at one time.
Oh, really?
And he was my attorney too, this guy, Andy Rigrod.
Okay.
So Andy introduced me to Seagal, and Seagal and I, we kind of hit it off there for a while. Yes, funny, his one caveat at the time, you know, like there's only one problem I have with you, Lettich. It's the fact that you work with this guy named Frank Dux.
Hey guys, we'll talk about that more in the next episode, so make sure to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, because you won't want to miss that.